What's up everyone, Netherwood here with a brand new game. Ixion just came out today on Steam. It's actually 10% off if you buy it right now. It's like $32 or something like that. So check the link in the video description if you do want to buy that. But follow along a little bit, see if you actually want to buy it. It's a city building game with space exploration and mining and stuff. It's really cool. We're going to get kind of into it. It's not that complicated to figure out. It has a lot of great features though. So let's just hop right in. I've been playing all day. I tried to get an early copy of the game and couldn't get it. So I just had to play all day after it came out and try to record a video for you guys. I don't really know how long the videos are going to be. 30 minutes usually works pretty well. If I can, I'll do an hour, but it's probably going to be 30 minutes. Let's just start a new game real quick. There's not a lot of settings that you have to think about. Like, at least I am not having to think about settings yet. I haven't done a full playthrough, so maybe after I do a full playthrough, I'll come back with a Season 2 and maybe do mods and different things like that, like I sometimes do. Alright, so I don't know if we're going to get all the cutscenes I already got. I hope we do, because it's really amazing, but we will see. So obviously it's in the future. Oh, here we go.
Typing clearance for shuttle launch. Initiate Stanford protocol.
Clear procedures, check. Guidance go. Batista safety protocol, check.
Launch control to EMP Sharon. All systems are go.
Launch is imminent. Personnel are instructed to evacuate the launch pad.
As you can see, I'm pretty excited. Been playing all day, still excited. Very spatial-esque right here. Love it.
Visualize approaching near Tiqqun structure.
PVS Tiqqun to EMP Sharon. You have clearance for final approach.
Ixion, baby.
EMP Sharon. You have been assigned to Tiqqun Docking Bay. Welcome on board, passengers.
Oh yeah, very cool, very cool. Now, one of the, you know me, I was watching my Endless Legend episode 1.
EMP Sharon is now docked.
There's gonna be
Sector 1 empowered and pressurized.
there's gonna be a bunch of talking in the beginning, kind of getting it all going.
Decontamination protocol online. Disembarkation authorized. Message to crew members. Welcome on board the Tiqqun, property of Dolus Aerospace Engineering Corporation. You will soon be given your assignments, but until then, please continue to wait near the docking bay. We hope you have a productive voyage, and would like to thank you for your contribution towards humanity's future. Administrator, I am Eden, the personal assistant installed on board the Tiqqun. In accordance with the Munchie Protocol, I have been designed to take into consideration your complete psychological profile so that I may more accurately respond to any needs you may have. My primary purpose is to ensure the Tiqqun's automated systems function efficiently. I will keep track of the tasks that are necessary for you to fulfill your prerogative of reaching Proxima Centauri and carrying out field research, mining operations, manufacturing protocols, and Dolos colonization tests.
So obviously, I've already played through this a lot. I've played again like probably 10 hours of this game already. So I was kind of getting going a little bit while she's talking. And again, like I was saying, I was rewatching my Endless Legend Episode 1, my playthrough of that game a long time ago now. I think it was like 8 years ago. But one of the things I loved about that game so much is the UI and how pretty the game was and how well everything tied together visually. This game has that. These kind of games don't come along very often, and so when they do, it's just amazing. I love them, and I usually get way too into them. So what I just did here is lay out some roads to connect all these stockpiles to start collecting all these resources from the stock. This basically just dumped off resources to get us going, and I need to pick all those up so that it opens this area up for building. So what I've done here is I've dropped a stockpile, as you can see. I've also dropped a constructor. I think it's called something else, workshop. And now what I have to... Okay, let's get talking.
Administrator, I wanted to introduce you to your first tasks personally. I'm Dolos' cryonics lead, Marduk council member Giovanni Battista. So, let's see. Your first objective will be to begin setting up essential infrastructure aboard the Tiqqun, meeting the environmental conditions that are required to support your crew. Having laid these foundations, you will then oversee the installation of the Vol engine and perform a short test jump to Proxima Centauri. Upon arrival, your research teams will carry out a brief survey of local space, gather a few rock and coal dust samples, fire up the colonization protocol, begin building the foundations for mankind's future, yada yada yada. And then you'll come back. Now, in order to achieve this, you'll need to familiarize yourself with the Tiqqun's core functions. It's no big deal. There's the production, stockpiling and distribution of resources, construction, balancing of power output with allocation. Oh, and space exploration, setting out expeditions and all that. Basically, everything needed to establish scientific advancement and harmonious autonomy on board the Tiqqun following the first test of its Vol engine. Eden's gonna display and keep track of your main objectives. Oh, and Administrator, don't let the position go to your head. Veneer has insisted to center Dolos' focus on the Tiqqun, but this mission is just in preparation for our next project, the Protagoras. The Marduk Council worked damn hard to pull this mission together ahead of schedule. So, toe the line, do as you're told, and bring the Tiqqun back in one piece. Leave the grand gestures and saving of mankind from ecosystemic destruction to us, okay? One last word of advice. We don't all think like Veneer Dolos. As of yet, no human law has been officially established amongst the stars. That sounds like an opportunity knocking to me.
Now, I'm not sure what he means by that. Even after playing 10 hours, I don't know. So it does take some you're gonna love this. I'm not gonna blow it. Okay, no spoilers. But basically, my first objective is to get the stockpile set up so I can start gathering. Basically, this is alloy. This is what's crafted when you pull in raw iron and melt it into alloy. Okay, so I'm gonna set this thing to alloy, and that's gonna let this thing rip. Click on the alloy icon above us. Yeah, now I need to start collecting. So I'm gonna start collecting from over here. These are small stockpiles, and that's what I recommend. Go after the smallest ones first, because this thing can only hold 100. So you want to do that real quick. We're gonna start building also a place for our people to live. And so the way I want to do that, well, yeah, okay, population is crew quarters, but these are 3x3, and the best way I've found to do it is really just to build under the sign, because you can't build any space structures here, so it makes sense to kind of build it like starting about there and build out a little bit. We can actually build behind it to get a nice solid block going. That would be probably okay. I'm going to remove this eventually, so let's just build some road back here, like, I don't know, like that probably. Now the construction bot will go out and start building it. This guy only provides us one construction bot, which means we can only build one building at a time or a road or something like that, okay? So we got to be kind of careful with what we're going to pick up. Now, each one of these stockpiles gets 4 or 5 of these robots. I can't remember how many. It tells you. And we can, well, it's going to come. See, there's a timer. So we're going to start, let's build some places for our guys to live. This is going to build 15 a piece. And I'm going to build it pretty much right in the middle of this.
Administrator, I have established a connection with Bolus's lead data scientist, Emma Clay.
4 of them for now or so. I'll tell you how many we need in a minute. Those hold 15 apiece, so that's only going to be 60 population space anyway, which is almost how much we need, so that's actually pretty cool. What we're going to do next is I'm probably just going to build more roads because I want to be able to basically get us a really tight configuration here because we're going to build some other not that. We're going to be building some other things over here that help our population. All the population, what I usually do, I've already found out with each sector, is I start building the pop stuff basically in the center and all the construction in the center because those robots have to move out to your buildings, right? So it's best, I've found, to have all the construction and stuff in the center so it's about even when it goes to build stuff. Same thing with stockpiles. You want them kind of like when we melt iron into alloy, we're going to want to have the iron.
Administrator, Mr. Dolos has made it abundantly clear when it comes to security. Given the importance of the Tiqqun, we must have full control over what is happening inside the station. My name is Emma Klein, Dolos's lead data scientist and member of the Marduk Council. My department have just completed final synchronization between Eden and our data treatment tool, the DLS. The DLS, or Data Listening System, is capable of scanning, recording, and parsing exchanges of any kind. The DLS programming that is a part of Eden will filter all data collected and bring to your attention only the most relevant information. It will also provide you with a condensed overview of any situations that may arise and formulate potential future outcomes. It will permit you to give direct orders without having to go through additional unnecessary paperwork. Eden will then take care of everything via their DLS accreditation. As is often the case with tools produced by my department, I think you'll find that once you start using the DLS, you'll never be able to do without it. Oh, and before I let you go ahead and start writing history, Dr. Munchie, our lead medical expert, wanted me to bring to your attention a possible side effect of vol jumping. Whilst there is a correlation between prolonged space travel and the development of early onset dementia, he believes that a vol jump has the potential to accelerate this process, although this is yet to be proven. His recommendation is for you to immediately send any crew members that are exhibiting uncharacteristic or symptomatic behavior to an infirmary, as these facilities are equipped to treat the mind as well as the body. Remember that all of your actions and choices are being recorded by Eden. We are not affiliated with any national or even international organization. The only people that you are answerable to are those of us who sit on the Marduk Council, who represent the collective interests and ambitions of the company.
So,
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
so there's a couple things to talk about real quick. How does building work? They tell you a lot in the tutorials. The tutorials are really good. I learned pretty much everything I needed to know in there. It's really detailed, and it's not that complicated. Let's pause for a sec. It's not that complicated anyway, so the tutorials will give you everything you need to know. Now, the way building works is, first what happens when you set up a structure is those robots will move, or is it people? People moving the robots? I think there are people in here. Yeah, because there are 5 people working, right? So these 5 people will drive those vehicles and move the resources to where they are needed. Then the construction, is it a construction bot or a person? I think it's a person. I think, where is he? He's not doing anything right now. So I need to set up some construction, actually. So see, all I'm doing is connecting roads, and then the resource becomes available to harvest, to pull in, basically. We're going to set up some more roads. Probably should have left a space there, but why don't we just make roads here, right? And then we'll connect this, and it's already all connected, so we don't even have to build those roads. So you'll see this guy come out. Yeah, it's a person, okay? And he's building that now. So once they've dropped all the resources off, this constructor guy will go over there and construct everything. It takes, obviously you saw it takes time for it to be built. Now, I could build 2 construction buildings. It will just take another 4 people, and then I can build 2 buildings at a time, which is totally fine, because if I destroy a building, I get all the resources back, okay? Now, the guys will have to go out and pick it up and deconstruct a building. It takes time, so you're spending time, but you get everything back. So let's say you wanted to build a bunch of stuff really fast. It might make sense to build like 4 construction sites, or workshops, really, you know, just to get those done, and then, you know, unbuild them, right? Take them down. Another thing you can do is take a building offline with power, because you can see we have power up here, a max power. Every building has to be powered. But if you take it offline, the workers don't seem to release from the building. So they're just assigned to that building, and they're always there. The only way I've seen to get rid of workers from a building is to literally deconstruct the building. So sometimes you have to do that. Let's see. Now it's talking about communal dining. Resolve the event communal dining at the workshop. Oh, so what'll happen now is events will happen where you can see this little magnifying glass. They're not super obvious sometimes because it's not a huge icon, and it does tell you what to do here. The event, right? This is called an event. But sometimes it's not super obvious, so be sure to keep on the lookout. Administrator, Tiqqun crew members are currently unable to access food supplies. Nyokon protocols direct the construction of a mess hall. This is where they eat. This building is designed to distribute food from our stockpiles to the crew. Guaranteeing access to food supplies would reaffirm your competency as an administrator. So what we're going to do here when we get these little requests from the crew and stuff is, if you don't get them done within a certain amount of time, I'm not sure if it's going to tell me how much time. It doesn't say. Sometimes you get a certain amount of cycles, which is what you can see down at the bottom is the time. I don't know if cycle is a day or a week. I'm not really sure. It's just called a time unit. So, but it'll say like do it within 5 cycles, or basically you lose trust, which is this little resource right here. It's not really a resource. You can't spend it. But if people become unhappy, you can have not riots, but like strikes and things like that. It can be really bad. So we're building trust right now, and it doesn't matter how long it takes to build this, which is fine. It's the tutorial. So again, like I said, I'm going to build all my pop stuff down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build another warehouse, because each one of these small warehouses can only actually store 1 item, like 1 type of resource. So I'm going to build another one. Now, I got the first one for free. This one's going to cost me 10 alloy. 10 alloy. It's still costing me 3 power and 5 manpower, or people power. But it's going to cost me 10 alloy this time. So I'm going to set it up basically to coincide with these buildings. And you'll see why in a minute. Let's put this guy there. And we're going to tell it it's going to be food, right? It's going to take out of this stockpile now. This little box, some resources dumped off here. I'm going to move it to here. Then we're going to also make a mess hall. Let's pick this up. And we should probably build another stockpile for, this is called, what's it called? You can look up here. Polymer. It's what's carbon turns into polymer, which is mostly used to make ships and different things like that. So let's get another stockpile for polymer. I don't really care where I put this one, except that we're probably going to want to put it in the construction sector. This is the food sector and people sector. So why don't we put it, and this is going to be kind of important. Let's put the mess hall. The mess hall is 4x6. You can R will turn it. So maybe we could do, well, we're going to have to definitely do it. We're going to basically have a road. Well, we don't have to have a road through there, but the next building is going to take up a lot more space. But it's going to be, well, we might want to put those elsewhere. Maybe we'll just have the mess hall right here. And the other thing I'm talking about, which I don't need to blow it right now, we'll have them starting over here probably. So let's just put the mess hall here. And I'm going to start my construction sector. I don't want to do it right there. We can have this be part of the construction sector. That'd be fine. That's 10, and we really only need 8 space. Right? Let's start building the construction sector, which means we're going to be moving these 2 guys because they're really not in a great place. But we're going to want it to be 8 wide is really best. But if we do that, it's going to stick out. That's probably right where I should have put the other one. There aren't that many small buildings, so You can waste space a little bit here. You know what? We're going to move this. Let's just move this guy. And let's build some more road right here, because this is actually where I want it. Let's also build it here. And we'll build it along that direction. Actually, we can totally hook it up to here. Now remember, he's going to build all that stuff, so you want to be a little careful with how many roads you build at a time. Let's also take out this road, because it's literally in the way. So now these guys can move stuff to here. We've got 5 more guys working that. We're going to build these roads real quick. Probably shouldn't have built this first. Well, it's fine. It's going to build it anyway. Let's now build another dude here, which means we're going to need some more roads here, but we really want roads right there. We really don't need them over here. We're going to move those roads. I'm going to move the constructor to over there too, but for now we're going to set this as polymer so we can move this. I want to get this out of the way because we're going to build some more things over here. Again, you want to clear out these easy ones, not this 80, stack of 80, that's too big. So we'll move like these 2 guys, maybe this, okay, for now. Now, this 10 is easy, so I'm going to click it first. It's going to start taking that stuff out right away. We're going to move this stockpile as well, but not right now. We can leave it there, it's fine. Let's just close the transmission. It looks like we're going to have to wait a second. So we need, that's right, we're waiting to build a mess hall. So let's build it right there. We're going to have a little bit of space in there that's wasted. That's okay. We can always destroy it and rebuild it. Remember, right? I mean, it's fine. Let's build another road straight. Well, we can't build it straight through because that guy's in the way. So what we'll probably do is we're going to build, well, I don't need necessarily another. Let's build, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. We're going to need a science vessel. This is the docking bay where ships come and go. It can support 3 ships, okay? And this is where you build them. Now, in the beginning, at least, I don't know about in the future, but there are 3 types of ships. Science vessel, which kind of does your investigation work. The hauling ship, and I don't remember what it's called, like, there's a name for it. Then there's the miner, which is going to go out and harvest raw resources for you. So we're going to build a science vessel. It's going to take 25 polymer and 5 people, okay? 5 of our crew. Now, how much crew do we have? We have 80 people right now. And if we look at population management here, we have 31 people working, and we have 80 workers total. We don't want this number, 31, the amount of people working, to go over 80, or we're going to start having accidents and all kinds of problems, okay? So we got to be a little bit careful with how many of these. We can't just build unlimited buildings. Even if we have the resources, we can't, okay? I'm going to leave that building for now. It's not super problematic. But I am going to remove these roads now that we can. They're just in the way. And I'm also going to remove this because we don't need it.
Administrator, I have an incoming transmission from Marduk Council member.
Now we've got the
Henry
mess
Bartaville.
hall. Now we can feed people. People need to eat, and I'll talk about that. Well, I can talk about it. Every 5 cycles, people are going to eat, okay? Let's go to the mess hall and look at it. Right? Every 5 cycles, the crew eats. And it's 1 food per 10 crew, okay? Now we have 80 crew, so that would be 8 food. You can see it's already pre-stockpiled. What it does is the guys will bring over 8 food from those stockpile, which is why you want it close by, and prepare the next meal for the crew, right? So we need 8 food. So 8 food is ready, and people are going to eat in the next 1.1 cycles because it's every 5 cycles, okay? So that's how you can calculate how much food you need, how much food you're going to go through. Now, we have about, I don't know, 4 or 5 food cycles, so that's like 20 cycles. We've got some food. We've got a little bit of ways to go. We're totally fine. The second thing I'm going to do is build a hauler, okay, cargo ship, because we're going to have to go pick up resources. They're going to give us some resources in the beginning, kind of a lot, actually. So we don't have to produce as many resources as you might think in this kind of a game. We really just need to harvest them in the beginning. So we're going to build ourselves also a cargo ship. Once this guy is done, he needs 25 more polymers. Actually, let's pick up that stockpile. Looks like we're out. So that's going to clear that out, which is nice. We also have a 50 stockpile over here, which we don't need right now. Won't need that for a while, probably. Let's get rid of these two as well. They're slightly in the way, not really. I really want to get rid of this 81, to be honest. We can probably move this construction guy over now. He's also going to be getting in the way.
Administrator, what a wonderful day to embrace our fate, don't you think? I'm Henri Bargeville, writer, philosopher, lobbyist, but most of all member of the Marduk Council. I have taken the liberty of personally arranging an exchange out of courtesy with the Oceanabe, a ship in high orbit belonging to one of our commercial allies, the Ashtongites. Even though they are a small organization, the Ashtongites are important partners who share the same pragmatic, moralistic, and spiritual outlook as we do.
Now they're going to build it.
Will provide us with a source of food whilst carrying out the Tiqqun's initial testing. By making it the first exclusive trade partner of the Tiqqun, we will demonstrate to our long-term allies that Dolos wishes for them to share in our successes. Please assign a cargo ship so that we can check the trade routines. Administrator, trust in genetic connectors. Self-similar space will reveal the pattern.
So that's something you hear repeated a lot, self-similar space. Not exactly sure what that is yet. I'm sure they'll tell us in the future. We've also got an event, so we'll do that in a second. We're getting close to the end, but also when they're talking, if you pause the game, it pauses the speech as well, which I think is kind of cool, not only because it's easier to do a Let's Play, but also just because if you don't want to miss it, you can pause, go to the bathroom, go do what you have to do, save the game. Because these transmissions are pretty important to kind of figure out what's going on. So we need a cargo and a science ship. We're doing that now. Let's look at this event real quick. Administrator, some crew members are lacking quarters. During human history, unnecessary homelessness has always been an indicator of civilization decay. Do not reproduce humanity's basic mistakes. So I need to build a couple more buildings for these crew, because each one holds 15, and I've only built enough for 60, so I need at least 2 more buildings, right? So within 12 cycles, I have to do this. Now this one's given me, and you'll see it pop up, I have a time limit now. So let's build a couple more pop buildings here. Basically, they're, you know, what are they? Just crew quarters. They're like apartments, kind of. Now, no people crew these. They don't people these, right? They don't have to crew these things and run them. It just costs power, which is nice. So that's getting done. We're getting our ships done as well. We might have our ships available. No, we don't have any ships available out here. Let's go back to the Tiqqun. You can change the map view that you're looking at down here in the bottom right, but we haven't needed to do that yet. When we have ships available, we will, and I'll tell you about that in a minute here. Sorry, just got over a cold, so I'm trying to not cough and clear my throat in the mic. Yeah, we got about 2 minutes. We can probably finish a little bit of this in the next couple of minutes. So now it's moving out. I want to say our science vessel. Yes. So now let's go look at the planetary system here while it builds our cargo vessel. Now I don't think we have to send the science vessel over because it would have one of these event available things going on, and those need science ships. This just needs a cargo ship. It's already ready to go. So what we're going to do, though, is we want our science ship to investigate this moon-ish, whatever's going on here, okay? If you click it, it'll tell you, but you really just need a science ship. And it'll tell you this when you send it over anyway. So what you can do is just send it, and then when it gets there, just open it up, and it'll have all the details. So this one says, summary of intelligence on an abandoned base. The base is out of commission. Auxiliary systems are operational and can be used to restore power. Let's send the science vessel Stanford over there. It kind of auto-names them, which is pretty cool. They're really significant names. Let's send it over to the moon. It's going to take... Well, I thought it was telling me. It's like 0.2 cycles to get there. Yeah, there you can see it right there. We're also... Let's go back here and see when that cargo ship's done.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
And you can see we've already cleared that request for more housing, because we now have crew housing enough for 90. I used to wonder... I think we lost someone here. So... I don't know if this is a bug or not. This happened in my previous playthrough as well. I just spontaneously lost a crew member. Now, you can lose crew members to accidents, things like that. They die. but nothing has happened, so I'm not exactly sure why I lost a crew member there. Again, that could be a bug, I don't really know. Let's continue. We're at the time pretty much. Once this cargo ship is done and built and sent out, and I've shown you how we're going to use it, we're just going to pause and say that's the end of episode 1. It's been a blast so far. Order the cargo ship to retrieve food via the fleet management window. Resolve the moon event. So, okay, I'm going to show you really quickly how you do this. So, now we have fleet management. Science vessels are not in here. They just kind of just do the same thing. There's really no, you don't have to configure them. You do need to configure mining ships and cargo ships because there are lots of different resources in the game, and you might have like 2 mining ships dedicated to iron, right? So you select there, and you might have 1 for silicon and things like that, okay? So what you have to do is tell it what resources can you pick up. Now, the resources are already available. If you look at the planetary map, it's already saying there's a resource here. You can collect 12 food. There's nothing to mine. There's just 12 food, okay? It looks like a storage. Remember, like inside the ship, like inside the Tiqqun. So we're just gonna tell it to pick up food. We're gonna go to the fleet screen here and say you can get food. Now there's different priority levels. That's off, that's low priority, medium, and high. So you can set different priorities if there are different things to collect. I micromanage it pretty heavily just because there's usually one resource I really want and the other ones can wait. Again, that's because I've only played 10 hours a game or so. That might change when I have 5 or 6 of these cargo ships or different things, and maybe I'm picking them both up. I don't care. Alright, so it's going to come back into the dock. It's going to drop its stuff off and leave the dock. Once that's done, I think we're going to call episode 1 done. I'm having a blast, and this game is going to fly by, I'm telling you. I'm going to probably produce a bunch of these videos pretty quickly in the beginning. We're still going to do Victoria 3 every other day. That's not going to stop. But this game's probably going to be coming out every day for a little while, because I'm just going to want to play it a lot. So now we've dropped off the resources, and they've already moved it over here to the warehouse, okay? Sometimes you'll drop off stuff. If you don't have a warehouse for it, it'll just sit there. Now, there are also ways to double use a warehouse if you aren't using the item very often, like chips, microchips. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Actually, what are these called? Electronics. I'll show you how to do that in another episode. But thank you for watching. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Tell me if you're going to buy this game. I know a couple of you already said you're going to buy it. If you're new here and enjoy this and want to see this kind of content, please consider subscribing and hit that bell notification. And hit the like button as well. That helps the algorithm. And as always, stay frosty. I'll see you on the next one.